Hi, I'm Lauren, and today is Vlog5. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a very positive vlog. Had a bit of an incident walking to the corner shop, believe it or not. And these two kids were just talking to themselves, and they were shouting, "Oh, she's a dog, she's a dog," and I'm thinking, it's only me walking down here. So I thought, well, they might just be talking amongst themselves. Came back out the shop, they were still shouting at me. And I thought it was really offensive. It's not the fact that, the words, it was basically like, I've had this all my life. It seems like I'm never going to escape this, whether I'm older or not, because I've been going through it since I was younger, when I was at primary school, because the way I looked and stuff like that. It's just like, well, why make a comment like that? There is no need for it. What I can't understand is how people can be so excuse me, how people can be so nasty with what they say, and I don't even think they realise how much it can hurt someone's feelings. It really doesn't. Like, there's times where I've had a really bad time at school, and I just don't want to deal with it and stuff like that. And there's been times where it's been hard, and they really called me horrible names. It's just like, when is this ever going to stop? And then as soon as I went to college, I thought, this is a new chapter in my life. School's been done, and I'll probably make new friends and stuff like that. But no, again, because of how I was and my personality and how I look, again, was judged by other people because I wasn't right in the head or whatever at their level. It's horrible to think why they have to judge someone on their appearance, and if they don't know someone well, and you just like judging someone by their cover, and it's horrible because they could be a really nice person inside, you know, and it's like, well, you're just judging of what they look like and how they are. They may be really nice people, and you're just judging on the fact of what they look like, which is sad, really, because you could lose out on someone there. You could have met them, like, a stranger or something like that, and they could be your closest friend, you know, if you were nice to them and stuff like that. I've actually learnt from that. At school, there was a girl, and like, she had people bullying her all the time, and I thought it was fun to join in. But obviously, because I was quiet at school as well, she was telling me, oh, whatever, and all that, and I was just like, oh, she's saying that and stuff like that. I used to get it all the time with specky four eyes and stuff like that because I wore glasses, and I had braces as well. So I got called Ugly Betty and all that, and it was horrible, and I didn't like it. It was just like, I really want to change the way I look, and like, it's because you're not perfect of how they want people to look. That's why they judge you, and I think that's horrible.
Same
Because
here.
yeah,
I don't think this is fair because I've had this happen quite a few times with people trying to call me because I got braces. Like, do you want to have a look? Right there, yeah. Because I got braces, but call me specky because I got glasses. I don't think it's fair on anybody, to be honest, because you shouldn't judge someone just by the way they look. Because, like you said, they could be your best friend. They could be a friend if you're nice to them. But if not, then there's a reason why you're enemies. Anyway, back to you.
yeah. Basically, going back to the girl at school, and after that incident, that was like in the first year of school. I wanted to fit in and feel like appreciated, and I thought it was fun to join in. But the friends that were with her, they were joking about, and I thought they were being serious, calling her. And obviously, I didn't get it all and understand it. So obviously, she got mad and pushed me out of the way, and I was like, oh, why should have done that? And she's not done it to her friends, you know. And I thought that was weird. And then in about year 10, like near the end of the academic year of school, like, she came over to me and she was alone one time. I was alone because I didn't have many friends then, as well as being bullied all the time, which was horrible because it's like I didn't experience much when I was younger, and that's what I feel I've missed out on. Because like everybody at school used to go out with their friends and that, and I was just like, well, sometimes I'd go out, sometimes I wouldn't, because my friends would constantly fall out with me over stupid things, and I would fall out with them with over stupid things, and it'd go from there, and it'd be to-ing and fro-ing, friendship wise, and then I'd lose a friend and think, oh, you know, I was constantly saying sorry all the time, and it weren't mostly my fault all the time, but I just wanted to make peace with everybody because, you know, I wanted some people to hang around with. Obviously, I was generally friends with them, but, you know, what can you do? And obviously, you know, going back to the girl, year 10, I was alone at lunchtime, she was alone at lunchtime, and she says to me, we'll be able to hang around with you at lunchtime. And conveniently, all my friends were off, or I'd fallen out with them, and I had no one to have lunch with. And she said, would you be able to, like, hang around with me? And I said, yeah, no problem. I said, you know, so obviously I thought that was weird considering what happened in year 7, and, you know, I'd called her and everything, and, you know, she was being nice to me and I was being nice to her. I had nothing against her, it's just I was being silly in year 7. So, you know, and we got on and we was talking, and I was asking her why her friends had gone off and left her. And she basically said that they've got this rugby team thing, and, you know, she weren't invited. So she felt left out and stuff like that. So they said, oh, you can come watch. So we went watching, and the PE teacher told us to go away because we weren't actually playing, we were just watching. They said you can wait from in the school hall. We were just like, right, okay then. So we were walking around and we were talking. And as we were talking, we're getting to know each other more, you know, and things like that. And then there was things we were saying, we were making each other laugh, and we were bouncing off each other. And it's hard to realise that, you know, at the start, we were like enemies, so to speak, like, you know, didn't like each other. And then, like, you know, in year 10, we got to know each other. We were like, you know, getting on with each other. And then, like, a couple of weeks after that, she invited me to her house to have tea and stuff like that, and it were nice because it was like I made a new friend, you know, and it all started with her asking me, do you want to hang around and, like, walk around, you know, schoolyard? I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything, you know, and I felt like, you know, oh my God, I've got a new friend, it's great, you know, but the other thing was the fact that I was angry at her friends that had left her. And then, you know, and she was still friends with them. What I can't grasp was the fact that they left her alone and then said, oh yeah, we're leaving you by yourself, couldn't care less. And they've left her, and then, you know, and she's still friends with them, and she's still friends with them now. Unluckily, I'm no longer friends with her anymore because we've had too many arguments, and I now feel like what she felt like. She constantly leaves me out of things, and it's, you know, long story short, we were really good friends as soon as we left school for a good couple of years, and we had funny times and stuff like that. And then things like her friendship with the friends that had started off our friendship, she was getting very close to, like, you know, best friend and stuff like that. And every time we went out, she'd moan about her friend, and she was like, oh, she really gets on my nerves. And I'm like, well, why don't you just say don't be friends anymore then? You know, if you can't handle her, then don't. Or just say to her, look, you know, can we not talk about that? It's getting a bit annoying. You know, I said, just say that, or just don't be friends with her. I might say something. She obviously hasn't now because she's still friends with her, but, you know, she's lost out on my friendship now because, you know, I couldn't let go of the fact that it was her friend to start off with that made our friendship, in the sense of she'd left her alone. And what I keep saying to her was, remember when we first met, I said, you know, I said, she left you by yourself, to fend for yourself. I said, and leave you behind. I said, no good friend does that. I said, leaves them on their own, you know, just like Billy no mates, whatever. That's just horrible, you know. And I couldn't grasp that. And obviously that's what's ended our relationship. she's constantly going out with her friends and stuff like that, and she's not including me, and I feel like I'm second fiddle. Like, I'm the middle person, you know. I'm not her first choice for going out. So she'd invite her first friend. If she declined the offer, I'd be a second or third option, which wasn't nice because it feels like you're being used. And that's what I felt like, and I had to end it. I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I've had enough. You know, I've been friends with her now, like, for a good 4 or 5 years now. And, you know, some friendships aren't meant to last. But in that time, from that bullying incident, and obviously a few years after that, and we were friends, it made me feel like, oh, there is some hope then, you know. And going back to the bullying bit, I am very strong against bullying, because I've had it up to here with people belittling people beneath them who think they are up there. And it's like, no, you're not. You're on everybody's level. Nobody is different. We are all the same in a technical thing, but no one is higher than another person. We're all on the same level on that aspect. And it's like, well, you know, it's like someone going off to someone else and going, I'm bigger than you, so that means I'm higher up than you are, which is horrible, because it's like, well, it's like saying to a small person, well, I'm bigger than you, so, like, you know, you should bow down to me, which is, it's not right. It's not. And, you know, from her doing that around the corner, I ignored her, by the way, because I've had it, you know, I've gone through it that many times. I know what to do to ignore them and not take them on. It's just like, walk on, don't give me my contact. I never do. And that's another thing as well. At school, that's what I got taught, was like, you tell a teacher. The teachers never did anything with me, because I constantly go in there every 5 minutes saying someone had done something. And I swear they thought I was being a bit, like, stupid. And it was just like, well, I actually have got a concern and stuff like that. And then eventually they gave in and just gave me counselling. And that was just ridiculous, because it was like a waste of my time in school.
Well, it is ridiculous. Think about it. See, what you faced then is what I'm facing now. Like, a bit of that.
Yeah.
Because they always take the boys' side. They'll always go to their side first.
Yeah.
And they'll always go, well, I don't think that person's done wrong, to be honest. But the thing is, because you don't have proof that they've done it, then you can get into trouble and they'll think you're lying.
Yeah.
So without proof, you have nothing against them.
Yeah.
So the only time that they'd be able to see it is if they saw it with their own eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's right there, because like, there's times where things have happened at school and you're really upset and you want them to get dealt with, and they don't get dealt with. And I think that's where schools are going wrong with the bullying aspect of things. My school was an anti-bullying policy. They said, and I quite literally laughed when they wrote it in the diaries, because I was just like, this is a Catholic school and it's an anti-bullying school, but yet they'll let bullies get away with it, and I can't understand that. But if it's the opposite way around, if you're the bullying someone else, then you get in trouble. But if it was you being the victim, then it's complete game. It's a complete different story to it. It really is.
Well,
you know.
Thing is, it's fine when you're in primary, but then everything just goes buggered up from the time you get to secondary. By the time you hit secondary school, I doubt any teacher's going to be able to help any of you. Not to say that there would be no hope, but I'm just saying that you really have to be careful with teachers in secondary, because they ask for proof in everything, whereas if in primary you've told the truth many times, they'll believe you on what you're saying, because they know you're not lying, and if you've got at least enough proof about it, they'll trust you. But in secondary, or if you're in the other part of the world in America, high school, then what will happen is teachers don't know what to do anymore. They've lost all control, all power, because they don't know what they're doing anymore.
Yeah, because like I said, there's been times where I've been at school and I've struggled. I've been crying going to school because I've been so upset because I didn't want to go, and I've had to go, you know. And there's never been a time I've been off, because that's how strong a person I was to go into school and to, you know, get them people to stop bullying me. But when this used to say to me, then the counselling, oh, well, I know how you're feeling, but how is the bully feeling? I said, well, I don't know. I said, I don't care. I said, how the bully's feeling, how I'm feeling is making my life miserable, you know, making me feel horrible inside. And she says, you don't know what's going on at home with them. And she said, you got to think about it that way. She said, you know, something could be happening in their lives. That's why they're acting out at school and bullying people that are happy and, you know, have a good life, you know, and have a good family and stuff like that. And, you know, they're jealous, she said. And I just couldn't believe it, because obviously I was really upset and I couldn't understand why she was taking his side. That's what it felt like, because it was practically like, well, why is he bullying you and stuff like that? Well, I was like, I don't know. I think he just chooses me because I'm an easy target, because obviously of the way I looked. But obviously there was other girls as well that were getting targeted because, you know, there was one girl that had epilepsy, and, you know, I was friends with her, and the thing was, she'd had a fit in school, and everybody was laughing at her, and I just felt that's horrible. And the teacher's obviously pinning her down, making sure she doesn't swallow her tongue and stuff. And I was there waiting with her, seeing what was going on, because obviously I'd never been in that situation before. And it was horrible. People thought it was funny that she was having a fit and a convulsion, and I thought that was horrible. I thought, what has the world come to for someone to have a medical condition and then to be fitting for you to think it's funny? And I thought, it's not funny at all. And this girl was crying because she didn't know what was going on when she woke up, because everybody was around her. And I just thought, that's horrible.
Well, boys are like these batteries, alright? They're always negative. You got like this bit of science for you. Boys can always be negative. And what we try and do is we try and flip around. If you see there, so the positive. But the thing is with boys, they can stay negative for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Now, the only way you can actually help a boy and turn them around, like so, like that, to make them positive, the way you've got to do that is kill them with kindness. Don't raise your fist like this, like, gonna hit you. No. Because then
it's not the answer.
Conflict is not the answer. If you hit them, they're gonna hit you back twice as hard. And believe me, that's happened to me quite a lot. What you need to do is kill them with kindness, because they won't like it, but soon enough they might end up being more positive. Because if you're
Sorry about that, my mum was telling me she was going. So yeah, like Morgan was saying, you know, you gotta think positive when you're in that dark place. You know, you feel like there's no going back, and there is an option, you know, to just try and...
What you've got to do is, like I said, going back to what it was before we were introduced by someone.
Yeah.
What you've got to do is, like I said, kill them with kindness, because the more you're positive, maybe that might have an influence on their lives and it'll make them positive. You made you laugh then, didn't I? Yeah, it'll make them positive, and maybe they might become your friend, or they might not be nasty to you anymore. But going back to the battery, if you think that a boy will always be negative, kill them with kindness, you can flip them around so they're positive.
Yeah.
You always turn them around.
there was an incident at college, and I was doing hairdressing at the time, and like I'd sat down in someone's seat, which I didn't even know it was someone's seat because obviously it was a salon, and I just thought I'll just sit down. Then next thing, girl comes clumbering in about 7 foot, and I'm thinking, right. She came over to me and she went, "That's my seat," and I went, "All right, okay." I said, "Yeah, but there's another seat there," and she was just like, "No, it's my seat. Move now," and I went, "Why? Why should I move?" And she was like, "Just move now. I want to sit there. It's my seat." I was just like, "Well, there's loads of seats. Why can't you sit somewhere else?" And then obviously I got up, got really mad because I was so infuriated. She was taking the mick. I was like, it's just a chair. So obviously I flung my stuff around. The teacher weren't in at this stage, so I had to inform her later what had happened. I went out crying to the college toilets. My mate came running after me saying, "Are you alright, Lauren?" I was like, "No, what is her problem?" I said, "I've been through this all my life." I said, "I can't be doing with it at college." I said, "I'm supposed to be getting a qualification and we'll be here for like a year, and I just, I can't understand why she's being nasty with me." So obviously my friend was like, "Do you want 5 minutes? Do you want some water?" I said, "Yeah, please." So we went up to the canteen and we'd sat down, and she said, "Do you want to ring your mum?" I said, "I've got no credit." She went, "Come here, I'll ring her on your mum's phone." I said, "Alright." So she said, "Hi, it's Caroline." She said, "It's Lauren's friend from college. Lauren's had a bit of an incident at college. Would you please ring back?" So obviously she rang me back, my mum, and she asked what was the matter. What was the matter? So I told her, and I was really upset and everything. And you know what happened? The most astonishing thing when I came back into the salon, I didn't think, and this is like turned the bit around where I walked in, everybody, and I mean everybody apart from her, came over and asked if I was okay. And I just thought, oh my god, because most of the girls were friends with her, and I couldn't grasp the fact that why were they coming over and asking if I was alright, because I thought they would side with her, with her being her friends and stuff like that. And obviously she was still being grumpy, going, "Oh, I can't believe what she's crying for," and stuff like that. And everybody's like, "You know what, shut up, leave her alone. She moved, didn't she? It's just a bloody chair, And like they came over and asked if I was alright, and they said, "Do you want to come through here? Do you want to tell the teacher, tutor?" And I said, "Yeah, alright." So we told the tutor, and the tutor had a word with her outside, and she went, "I don't want you speaking to her like that again." She said, "It's just a chair now, said and done. There's no need for you to be like that." She came out crying, and I mean crying. So my tutor must have got to her so much because she knows how much of a hard worker I am, my tutor, and she just couldn't believe. She said, "I won't stand for that." She said, "I'll have a word with her now." And obviously she came back in, she was crying her eyes out, and everybody was looking at her like, "Why are you crying? You were the one bullying her," and stuff like that. And it turned my perspective round because I thought I was going to come in and everybody be all on me because I was getting upset about that. And it surprised me in a sense that some people are nice, and they will they know how it feels sometimes, when you feel like that low and you don't need that. And it's a shock. It was a shock. Let's just say that it was a shock because it turned my whole perspective round on how other people are friends with people like that are bullies, and it just shows. And I told my mum and I said, "You know what was the funniest thing?" I said, "Me walking in there and everybody coming over and asking if I was alright, and not one of them said anything to her and asked if she was okay."
Well, I bet your thought on that was it's kind of like the sound of applause. Like you felt like this, like you'd actually like people coming over to you like, well, it's changed my whole perspective around of what people are like. I mean, not all people in my life might be like nasty or horrible. You might get some people who are really nice and happy and bright
Yeah.
and want to be your friends.
Yeah. Like, obviously that changed my perspective on the bullying side of things, and that was my second year at college, that. And that was a few years ago, that. But in that as well, I went on to my next year and the year after that. And because of my last course, I was the eldest one there, and I felt really old because I was like, I'm 19, nearly going on 20. I thought, this is weird because most of them had just come out of school and they were 16, 17, 18 maybe, some of them. And again, picking on me again because, like, I'll say I was older, but because one of the things was that I've been going out with my boyfriend for so long, and she was picking at me going, I don't really think she's been going out with him that long. I was like, well, how would I know? When you know how long you've been with someone, don't you? And I thought, I'm not going to lie to you. Why would I want to? What is going to satisfy me from lying to you about that? There's absolutely nothing. So, people like that have got nothing better to do with their lives, and if they have to talk about you, then they've got nothing better to do with themselves, because they're wasting their time talking about you. And, obviously I just ignore it now, but sometimes it does get me down. If I'm having a bad day and I'm on that level anyway and someone's being even nastier to me, it's just like I don't wanna go, don't want to go out or anything like that, and it's upsetting because it's like, well, I'm back to square one with that. But once I get my confidence back and my self-esteem is high enough, I'll be able to say something back to them and confront them about it. But I will never get violent with someone. Never. It's just, I want to know why they're being so nasty to other people. There's kids out there that, may not, I don't know, what's the word? People like me who struggle in life with how they look, and then for someone to say to them, oh yeah, you look fat, you look this. I got it all the time in primary school. I was fat, I was chubby. I was like specky forehead because I wore glasses then as well, And I did silly things for them to go away and stuff like that, and I made a couple of friends that really truly liked me for who I was, and that was enough for me because I didn't think I was going to make any friends in primary school, and now we've got Facebook, MySpace, all that. We've now got that. And there's people I don't even talk to. Well, I've probably brushed shoulders with at school, like girls and lads. Well, mainly girls, but that have added me on Facebook. They don't talk one word to me. It's like, well, yeah, I just add you on here. It's one friend up from what I was. That's all it is. And it's like that all the time on my newsfeed. Constantly, all the girls from my school, it's just like, couldn't give a shit about you, couldn't give a shit about you. It's just like, they don't say anything. It's just like, well, why did you even have me? I can't understand that. If they're not going to talk to you, what's the point? And plus, most of them are like people that you're like, well, I don't really like you anyway because you were nasty to me in school. So, and plus, it's like, my mum says, they might have changed. It's like, yeah, they might have changed. But it could go either way. They could have changed for the better, they could have changed for the worse. And it's like, well, I wouldn't know that unless I actually met them in the street and said hi to them. Whether they would just blank me or they would go, I don't really want to talk to you right now. And then you know the answer then, don't you? But I've made a few friends and, from school and stuff like that. And it's helped me along the way with the bullying process. But I've lost some friends along the way as well where they've moved schools and stuff like that. And it always seems to be, I think I broke down crying one time from school and I said to my mum, why has it always happened to me? And she said, what? I said, I make some nice friends and then they leave. And she said, it's not you, Lauren. I said, it feels like it. I make some friends and I'd be like, proper close to them, my best friend and everything. And then it just goes downhill from there because they move because of something, or the mum and dad need to go some other place and they have to go with them. And I couldn't understand it because I was only young, but it felt like everybody wanted me to have no friends, and that upset me because I couldn't grasp it because I was so young, and I was like, well, why will I ever have any friends at all? And it felt like that for a while, and obviously, again, now I'm back to square one. I don't feel like I have any true friends anymore. What you can call true friends, who can help you out when you're feeling like low and stuff like that, or if you're in trouble, which I'm not in trouble, but you know, that can be there for you when you need them. And it's just, if you can't call a friend that, then what can you call them? Because there's times where I thought, oh yeah, she's really true to me and stuff like that, my friend. And then when you think they are, and you find out they're not, and they're just bothered about other people, and it's just like, well, I thought he was my friend, But you never confront them because you feel like, you don't want to lose the friendship, but at the same time, it's what's making it not a friendship anymore, because you're not seeing them as much, or you just, I know I'm rambling on a bit here about friends and bullying, but I just wanted to get it across because I was really annoyed when I came back from the shops. I just thought it gets on my nerves when people call someone else, or if, it's just horrible what people do to other people, and how they can get so low and to call someone, and it's because of how strongly I feel against it. I had to write this vlog. Not write this vlog, but film this vlog, because I've had enough, But I'm sorry about it. It's been a bit of a downer and a thingy, but I just wanted to make you aware on how I felt on that.
Well, to leave on a positive note, you could subscribe to Lauren, subscribe to me, watch Lauren's vlogs. She does great vlogs.
Yeah.
I do a few vlogs, but I'm mainly a gamer, so you can check me out, Blaster Razor, and
Lauren McKee, or Lauren Amy, whichever.
Yep. I hope you have enjoyed Lauren's vlog. Be sure to check out her channel, like her videos, subscribe, like my videos, subscribe, and comment in the boxes below.
Yep. I'm going to leave it here. It's been quite a long vlog. I hope you'll be able to watch it all, but I'm sorry for the rant, but I just felt strongly that I had to do a vlog and tell you all about it and how I've struggled in the past with it and stuff like that. I just wanted to let all YouTube know how I feel on it. But I assure you the next vlog will be a much happier one and stuff like that. So we're going to say goodbye now.
Goodbye.
Bye.